What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, and I am back with another amazing musical episode of BLK Talk. In collaboration, I can collaborate with Q the Music. Yes, it's my new favorite creation, new baby of mine. And today we have Mr. I travel and sing all around the world. Mr. He's packing up his suitcase. Mr. Girl, I'm on the way.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of everything. Now he's scared to love. Mr. The one, the only, Mr. Keeyen Martin.
Yes.
Come on, welcome back, Keeyen.
I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy that you are here, fresh off the plane, almost.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, fresh off of it's been a few weeks now, but, you know, a new release.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are out here doing it. We were just having a conversation. 13 years since I've met this man.
13.
And the growth in his person, in his artistry, in his manhood. Like, it is amazing to see.
Thank
now,
you.
I don't get the opportunity to see it as often as I used to.
I know.
Because we were talking and seeing each other almost every day.
Mm.
But just to see it, it is an amazing thing.
Thank you. I am grateful. I really am grateful.
For staying consistent out here in these streets.
Yeah, we definitely have to. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Sure.
So how have you been?
I have been, for all intensive purposes, I've been well as far as really just what you were saying, trying my best to stay consistent. And when I haven't been able to, I haven't allowed myself to try to, not be anything else but what I'm feeling at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as we were just talking, that has been a journey in itself because I used to be the type of person that was very one track artist, music, career. And I started to recognize there was more to me. So, I think for all intents and purposes, I'm in a good space because I'm allowing myself just to feel and grow in other areas as a man.
And if you don't mind sharing, what would some of those areas that you've had the opportunity to experience and uncover? What are some of those?
I would definitely say a crash course in adulting 101 from credit, learning about what a notary is, to learning about debt and savings plans and how to save money, because for most Black people, we don't come from great financial backgrounds. I would say even learning about your character. I feel like I've always carried a very consistent and positive character, but learning to really let my yeses mean yes and my no's be no, and know how to show up, etc. I think learning about who I am romantically, how do I love, how do I need to receive love, being humble and open to knowing that what I may have in my head may not be identically to what is for me.
Yeah.
And saying, am I okay with that? Because some people aren't, And I think also learning what it means to. Keke Palmer said this in her interview on Club Shay Shay recently. If you're the one, you're the one. And really knowing what that means. And she basically was, saying for every family, every person, one of the offspring, undeniably, you're the one.
Mm.
It's undeniable. You can run from it, you can hide from it, but it's always going to find you. And I know from my immediate family, I'm easily the one.
Mm.
And so I think throughout these years, recognizing what that means, what that comes with. But
is it heavy?
Oh yeah, it's for sure it's heavy. Now it's not as heavy because I be going to bed and I be getting rest. I be going dancing. I do a lot of things to, again, I think soothe and give therapy to the whole Keeyen.
Mm-hmm.
I think in past years it was very heavy because there was always this unclear goalpost that I felt like was always moving, that I felt like I always had to look the part, show up the part. I had to be well spoken. I had to be well dressed. I had to be well, just informed with everything because I'm representing my family, my legacy, and everybody's pointing, he's the one, whether they're saying it or if they're just, unknowingly giving me that energy. And after a while, I was like, hey, I have to live my life for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing.
And Keeyen is still singing, so clearly that's something that you love.
Absolutely.
Now, what is it about the singing? Because when it comes to the songs, you write the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So is it sharing your voice? Is it the story that you've created with the song? Is it sharing the song?
Mm-hmm.
Is it sharing this so that I can see what the people have to say or feel? Like, what part of music like gets you up in the morning?
I think for me, living the lyrics, like that's something for me. Words, I love words. I'm a wordsmith. I love languages, etc. But for me, when I think about the power of words, they really create the world we speak in. Everything that has existed, me being, faith based, believing in God, He formed the earth using words, using language. And so for me, I think now as a performer, as an artist, I want to live my lyrics. It's very hard for me to sing songs that I have not lived. And I think when you live through something that becomes your testimony, that becomes your story, that becomes your, portrayal of I've been through this. Mm-hmm. It was hard as hell sometimes, but I made it. And I'm hoping from me sharing this through a song, maybe you can relate to a part of it too, and you can be encouraged at wherever you are in your journey to live through it. So, yeah.
So with your recent release, it is something that for a lot of people who may have been at one point lucky in love, or some people who are not so lucky in love, people are scared of a lot of things, whether it's loving in a relationship, whether it's loving, friends after you've been hurt, whether it's loving family members after you've experienced disappointment. So for you, the idea or the inspiration for Scared to Love, where did that come from?
It really came from I've recognized my angle as a songwriter. A lot of things are very introspective and comprehensive, where it's like I'll take a variety of experiences and I'll use certain words to represent all of it, if that makes sense. And the goal is for when somebody listens to it, it can have a similar impact or connection where, if they're going through this, the words may hit them in that way. If they're going through that, the words may hit them in that way. And I think the whole aspect of being scared to love is the reality of a lot of us are just afraid of when something is good and it's too good. We have in the back of our mind, where's the sneak attack at? You're about to get me, you're about to do. And for me, it was based upon, yes, I think romantic experiences that haven't manifested the fruit I thought they were going to, but also for me, it's very symbolic of family. Knowing my personal journey of my dad, I remember him telling me at a point when we started to reconnect, he was afraid to be a father. He was afraid to embrace the love of his kids because he didn't know how he was going to do, and he had his career. I was like, whoa. Like, I appreciate it, but it's like, I didn't know how to be a dad. I was scared, so that's why I chose not to. But I've always loved you.
Now, did he have experiences in his life with his own father that may have like trickled down and like manifested in how he came to be present for his kids?
Very much so, and I love that you asked that because just last year, December, when I was visiting home, shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina, we went out to dinner, and it was the first time he ever told me about his dad, and it was very minimal information because sadly his dad died, I think, when he was about 8 or 9.
Oh, wow.
So in that moment, I was like, whoa, I get it. He didn't know how to be a dad. He didn't have a dad. And that literally in real time for me made so many things register and click. Not necessarily absolving him of, his absence, but it made me have more empathy and a greater understanding because it's very difficult for anybody to give something they don't know how to give.
Yeah.
That's hard. But I think it's up to us to at least try to say areas that I am weak in. How can I grow stronger? How can I process information in a new way where I'm not just operating from what was done to me and I'm doing the same thing. What was done to me, I'm trying to get healed from it, to be made whole, and let me give it in a better way, you know. So
Now, what I want to know, I don't know if many artists have been asked this question. Now, your gift, you were blessed with the gift of song, the gift of writing, the gift of entertaining. Because he is one of, I'm not going to say few people, but one of many people who have been blessed with entertaining. Like, he can put on an actual show. Like, he don't just get up there and sing and, you know, in the same spot, but you can actually entertain people. And that is what you give to the world. But when you sat down and like reflected on what you've done and what you've given to the world, all this music, all of this art, you know, what is it that you want the world to give to you?
I would say that I want the world to give me the opportunity to have access to their ears and their hearts. You know, I think that art imitates life, because wasn't that a older movie, and The Imitation of Life?
The Imitation of Life.
As artists, you know, I grew up with so many legends that I revere. That's what their music did. It reflected life. I was just randomly listening to Be Optimistic, Sound of Blackness, Keep Your Head to the Sky, As Soon as I Get Home, Faith Evan. Like, all of those are classic songs, but they represent real experiences.
Yeah.
You know? And as an artist, I think the greatest privilege is when people give you access to their ears, their hearts, where you can actually give them something to hopefully soothe, to hopefully be a form of therapy, a form of connection. Because that's what music has always been for me. It's been a sweet escape. And now that I have the opportunity to perform and create, I am privileged when people allow me that access to them, that I can give my art to hopefully help serve them in a positive way.
So you think it's when the world gives you their ears and their hearts, it's now a responsibility that you have to do the right thing. So
absolutely,
to give it to them in the right way, and you've done that.
Thank you.
Like you had the opportunity to not only perform in your backyard, not literal backyard, but you know, in your city that you're in the city that you're from, in the country that you're from. You've had the opportunity to hop on a plane, and go and entertain individuals that may not even speak the same language as you.
100%.
Now, how is that? Like, I've always wondered, like, they may not understand the words, but what is the connection? How do you think, without understanding what this word may mean, how do you think they connect with the music?
I think that it's bottom line, the heart reaches the heart, spirit reaches the spirit. You know, energy by definition can't be created or destroyed. But a person's energy, you can feel that. And you can tell if it's genuine, you can tell if it's fake, you can tell if it's inauthentic. And I think for me, that's been something so powerful that shows itself to be true when I do travel and perform. Because for me, I've just learned that a language barrier is a very minimal thing. You know, they are still a human being with a real life human experience. And being on stage, exuding that energy through a song, the power, I think, of the exchange as a performer, you can create a whole moment of escape in a concert where you're helping a person just flee, even if it's for a brief moment, away from their problem, their struggles, their trials, you know. And I like to think of that exchange, my responsibility, how can I offer something again to hopefully heal, to hopefully help them. That's why I think with all of my songs, I've really made it a personal goal, not to just be stingy as a writer, but I want to have an input in what my art. I want it to be me, you know? So
authentic.
Yeah.
So out of all of the songs that you've written, some that you've released, some that you have not, what are, I would say, your 3 favorite songs, but also, what are 3 songs that you feel represent Keeyen Martin, the man, the artist?
Wow. Okay, that's hard. I think there's a song that is on my EP Neutral, More Love. And it's a short song, so it really turns into like an interlude because it's just high energy. It has like go go bounce, and it's dancey. But literally, the lyrics, "Never gonna stop, no, we can't stop. Never gonna stop, you can't stop this love." And that's the core of me. I'm all love. Like even if I were to try to be mean and malicious, people would see through that soon. Cause I'm just a loving guy,
Yeah.
and that's I was created in love, my family, I've always experienced that, and that song for me, it combines the core idea of love as well as I love dancing, I love being free, I love having fun. So I would say more love. I would also say I would say a song "Show Me" from my project. "Show Me" was one of the first songs for the super musical nerds like me. It has 6/8, and that's basically just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. That's like Black Church, Black Soul, and the jumping you love me and you.
That's always been one of my favorites, and
Really?
I think because when you were preparing to release, what was it the first time you performed it? Was it in Nashville?
Yes, I think so.
We went to Nashville.
Yes, we did.
Before we got that hot chicken. Shout out to hot chicken lady.
We go back.
But we need to. We need to see the cake lady too.
We really do.
Miss Irene.
Yes.
But when I sat there and I saw you in your element, like I'm like, oh, I like the song that much more. And then I like songs that I end up knowing the words to. Like, come on now. So, okay, we got 2. More Love, Show Me.
Then I would have to say undeniably Suitcase. Suitcase represents my journey from point A to point present to
point now
when I get to point Z.
Yeah.
I'm a dreamer. I have never, ever thought of myself any less than being exceptional. In the most confident and real way, I have looked at my life like, hey, the different hands we are dealt, what are we going to do with them? At some point, you have to decide, I am going to make lemonade out of my lemons, or I'm going to make treasure out of my own treasure, however you want to use it. And for me, I was like, I'm going to make something out of my life. I want to live my dream. I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to sing. There's so many other examples. Why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And it was as simple. So Suitcase is that song that no matter how many times I travel, perform, I teach, etc., everybody is touched by that song. And it speaks to me. This is the mantra that I feel like every artist, you want at least that one song that people hands down, I want you to perform that. I love that song.
How long ago did you release that? That was over 10 years ago, wasn't it?
I think this would be the 10th year, so I need to do like a 10-year thing. I think it was like 2015, 2016.
Come on, anniversary.
Yeah. I need
Keeyen Martin anniversry tour coming to a city near you.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Now, if you did that, when? Because, we're speaking things into existence around here. Who are 2 or 3 artists that are out here now that you would love to be like, hey, come on and be a part of the show?
Wow. That's hard. There's so many.
And you used to, as far as I remember, you used to hang around a nice group of singing fools.
Like major artists, indie artists, on the rise artists, or
D, all of the above. Whatever names and songs come to mind.
Wow. I would love to do something. I'm always going to say Stevie Wonder, because I am an extension of his art, 100%. I have loved how that man has created songs that have imitated life. And so it would be amazing
songs
to have...
in the key of life.
Yes, it would be amazing to have a feature on a Suitcase. Him, that would just be mesmerizing. But I would say artists like him, artists like Jasmine Sullivan, I would love to do something. Um, Samote, who's a very popular rising artist.
Why do I feel like he was just here
He
within the
was
last
here. He
few
did
weeks?
a show here recently. But his whole energy just exudes like, cause I don't know if he's signed or if he's independent. Cause most artists, it's like, regardless, you're doing everything yourself. But he carries himself. Cause I've seen him live a couple times with just a sheer. I've tried to be what other people have wanted me to be their artist, but I'm myself. And he has spiritual moments, he has ratchet fun moments, he has R&B moments, all in
Yeah.
his show,
Yeah.
and I love that, you know. And so I would say those three just come to my mind.
Okay. Now, what are some of the cities that you have not, or countries
Mm-hmm.
that you have not performed in that you would love to grace the
Mm-hmm.
stage in?
I so want to experience Asia, from Japan to China, Korea, you name it, just because I always hear how they really receive black music specifically well.
Mm.
I would love to experience more of the Caribbean. I feel like I'm in Antigua because I was over there in the islands.
And that's how they talk to you for 2 weeks.
Yes, they just are beautiful people. I learned so much while I was just recently there, just about the little things. I like, and it made me think. I kept playing in the back of my mind India Ari's song, "Little Things in the Joy of Praying." That was literally, in my humble opinion, one powerful gift the Caribbean experience gave me. You honor the little things. Everything matters. You know, I would love to experience other. I've been to Europe a few times, but I would love to experience other parts of Europe as well, and Africa. Hands down,
Have you ever been to Africa?
I have not, but it's on my bucket list. And funny enough, I had a beautiful privilege a couple weeks ago. I had to get African attire for a performance, and I went to a random African store in the West End in Atlanta, and I had the best conversation. It was called Wakanda Life, and I'm a big kid at
Is
heart.
it the place right across from the West End Mall?
Yes, absolutely.
Next to the shoe store?
I think it is next to the shoe
I've
store.
been there before too. They have a lot of everything.
Everything, and I met the owner, mother and a son duo, and she just spoke positivity in my life. She prophesied to me. She said, "I can tell you have a great spirit, a great heart. Anytime you need anything, I mean it. You come by here." And so I'm probably going to go by and see her while I'm in town. Um, but the son plans quarterly trips to Ghana, and he was literally talking about like how they help give you guidance on taking care of everything, but he implores every person of color, you have got to experience Africa. And of course, they're from Ghana, so he was specifically saying Ghana, but he was like, all of Africa just changes your life. So I know my wheels are already turning in the future. I know that I want to have property outside of America, just hands down.
You know what? There were a lot of people last year. Was it last
Mm-hmm.
year or this year? That were going over to, I think it was South Africa, somewhere in South Africa. A lot of celebrities. They were getting dual citizenships.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is that about? Maybe you should do that. Get a little
I can
property
see
over
myself.
there.
I'm definitely spontaneous, so I could definitely see myself like. And then you know, I look at life more and more like this. A year goes by like that.
It does.
You can literally go a year, say, "Hey, I did it. I experienced it. I liked it. I didn't like it," and you can always move back.
Yeah.
You know, especially with the way of our crazy world now, it's like I think it behooves anybody, go, jump, do it. You know, so.
Okay. Now, when it comes to music, I know there's always things going through your mind, always experiences that you are living through.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that you're writing about now as you prepare? Because I know how you artists go. As you prepare for the next big adventure musically.
Well, for me, I think I'm writing more about my experiences, you know. Um, but I'm finding joy in writing about, you know, the pros of life, the positives. It is very easy. I can't remember what I was watching recently, but it was something along the lines talking about like a lot of fans and consumers almost prefer for an artist to be brokenhearted, to be down bad,
Yeah.
because it helps create good music. And it's like, well, that's true in a sense, but should that artist not also be entitled to experiencing joy?
A little piece of love.
Yeah, you know. And so I think for me, that's what I am doing. I'm trying to go where the light is and allow myself to just live there. No, I don't want to, force. It could be a corny song that's positive. That's a very real thing. So I'm not trying to do that. But that's where I am now. I'm in a more upbeat place. So I'm trying to express that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is it that you want to accomplish this year? You've done so much already. And we have so many more months to go in this year. Like, this has been a crazy year. It has been the longest 3 years ever. And it's only April. Like, what is something that you said to yourself that you want to accomplish this year?
Wow. Well, I sincerely want to go into cities more that I haven't been, which Antigua definitely was a whole experience I did not have on my bingo card, as the people say. So more performances in markets and cities that I haven't been, revisiting some that I have.
When you go to Nashville, call me.
I 100% will. That is on the bingo card.
I will hop in the car and go, but the person who went before who helped drive can't go. He almost
Hell, that's funny. But yes, I would say more travels. I would say there are a lot of things with my family for sure that I want to do. Like, we haven't been on family vacation in a couple of years. I want to do that. I'm working on a surprise, hint, hint, for everybody that I have really vowed that I'm not going to share, but be looking for some form of an invitation in the fall season. It's an endeavor that I've entertained the thought of for years, but kind of put off. But I want to do something for that. I want to meet my eldest sibling that I've never met. There's a lot of, I think, more personable things that have a great meaning that I do want to do or try to do this year. But of course, I do want to perform. I want to work with some other artists I haven't gotten to work with as well. But I just think the old phrase that I can hear my great grandma and grandparents, God rest their souls, say, just keep on living. You'll understand it better by and by. Those phrases really be real. And I'm in a space now where it's like, I'm recognizing like having so much, I think, focus and putting so much emphasis on a lot of material things, a lot of accolades, that's going to come and go.
Yeah.
But when you start to shift your thinking and say, let me really build on, generational healing and wholeness and wealth, and for myself, for my family, for my friend circle, like I saw something on social media where it was like I love shout out to black people. Black people are just amazing. But it was like a friend's, was it like a friend's pitch or something? But basically every friend had a slideshow. And it was a party where friends just got together and they had slideshows of their character traits as friends. Like, it was so unique.
But I would like to find that.
Yeah,
that sounds
I gotta
fun,
find that.
Because I need any reason to have a party.
But stuff like that, I want to do more of, like, bond with my tribe, because too often, which being in entertainment, being in the entrepreneurial space, being young adults, 20 something, 30 something, all of it, you always see, we gotta make time. When we gonna hang out? Let's catch up. We always say that. And now this year, I want to consciously do more of that. So
there's something that I am working on, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because now you're on the guest list.
Yes.
But what I want you to do, give people a little bit of why they should go stream all of your music, of course, but Scared to Love, and then how they can get in contact with you and stay abreast of everything that is the Keeyen Martin.
Absolutely. Well, Scared to Love, is a song that really culminates the unfortunate dark side of love that we all experience. But I think that it's going to be something that could touch your heart, that can hopefully give you a sense of therapy on your journey. And for those of you that are in love, I desire to be like you, and it's going to happen for me too. But you can definitely stay connected with me on all social media. Very easy, at KeeyenMartin, and connect with me because I definitely want to connect with you.
Thank you. And of course, thank you
Thank
for
you.
always coming and showing love. I think it was your second, third time.
Yeah.
Something like that. But we as long as BLK Talk is around and as long as Keeyen Martin is out here doing his thing, he is always welcome on this here platform. But of course, I always have to thank you guys for continuing to tune in and continuing to support. Because without you, there would be no views. And I thank you for that. And we'll be back with another amazing episode very, very, very soon.